Okay, so today I watched Al Sit, a Sudanese drama short film on Netflix, directed by the famous influential Susanna. Okay, so the story centers around a 15-year-old named Nafisa, the one on the left, who has her eyes on a young man named Babikir. But unfortunately, her parents have arranged for her to marry Nader, a Sudanese businessman, who actually has plans, as we can see from the movie, to get rich off the village's cotton. Moving on, the camera and sounds used and editing of the film actually contributed to the overall message. So the camera was usually used to create a sense of intimacy and closeness with the characters. And there are several close-up shots of Nafisa's face showing her emotions and thoughts. Okay, so for example, in this opening scene, when Nafisa is sitting in the field, the camera actually zooms in on her face as she watches Babikir on his bicycle. This close-up shot emphasizes her desires and feelings towards him. Additionally, the use of sound is actually very powerful in conveying the emotions and atmosphere of the film. Also, right before, at the very start of the film, the sound of the wind blowing through the fields actually creates a sense of solitude and isolation for Nafisa, and it actually highlights to the audience her internal struggles. Moreover, towards the end of the film, we can see that the director chose to place a beautiful Sudanese song playing in the background during one of the scenes at the end. And this song actually emphasizes the importance of tradition and the weight of societal expectations on Nafisa.
حبيبي تعال تعال نتلم مدام الريد اختلط بالدم مدام الريد اختلط بالدم أنا ذنبي إيه شيلوني الهم يا حبيبي.
The film is actually edited in a way that allows the audience to see the difference between Nafisa's desires and the reality of her situation. Another important example is the scene where Nafisa is getting prepared. The camera actually focuses on her face as she's wearing her jewelry and putting on her makeup, and it actually emphasizes her sadness and sorrow. Overall, the editing effectively conveys the emotions and perspectives of the characters, adding depth and meaning to the story. So that helps us understand the narrative structure of the film, which is primarily linear. So, following Nafisa's journey as she navigates her impending marriage or her feelings for Babakir, the story arc is one of the internal conflicts as Nafisa must reconcile her desires with the expectations placed upon the community on her. Overall, the narrative structure and the story arc of Al Cid effectively actually conveys the internal struggle that is faced by Nafisa as she tries to navigate the traditions and expectations of her community. So, in general, the bigger picture here is that conflict over new and traditional ways of life and thinking will always be present, no matter where we are in the world. Okay, so actually, this story portrays the struggle of a young girl's fight to make her own life choices, which is a universal struggle that a lot of audience can actually relate to, no matter their cultural background or where they come from. Okay, moving on, we want to discuss the role of allegory playing in the short film. So in El Film Sit, they use allegory to actually convey a deeper message about the society, the patriarchal society in Sudan, and the struggles faced by women in such societies. Okay, so we can say that the character of Sit actually represents the traditional and conservative values of the village, which are often at odds with the desires and the aspirations of the younger generations. And Nafisa, the protagonist, actually represents the youth and the desire for change, while Babi Kir actually represents the idea of a progressive future and hopefulness. And the conflict between these characters actually serve as an allegory for the broader societal struggle between like the tradition and the progress in Sudan society. Also, additionally, the film uses the allegory of the cotton fields in order to represent the weight of tradition and to actually explain the nature of maintaining the status quo.